Hello, Internets. This is Melvin Shaw with the Potomac Curling Club in the shadow of the nation's capital. With draw 3 of the Women's Mid-Atlantic, our feature sheet tonight, Team Fox with Red Stones, also Hammer versus Team Heuer, Yellow Stones. Should be an exciting match. In the early throws of this game, Yellow, Team Heuer, got rocks in the control zone, great positioning. I believe we're on seconds rocks at this point, so this is Caton Dyerly. Sorry if I'm pronouncing folks' names wrong, not familiar with everybody on the sheet. This is Janice. I'm sorry, this is Judy Gilbert. Looks like Team Heuer is short one player. Slight disadvantage. We'll see how that plays out in the later ends. Nice tap. Rock sits now back 4. Shot rock. And I'm sorry, I had my lineup off just a little bit. This is now Caitlin throwing second rocks. Looks like she's going to try to open it up. Wise decision. Over curls just a hair on the clear of the center guard, but manages to roll into the house, top 12. It's a great position. But Team Heuer still in control. Good center guard and a rock back 4. It's a lively warm room here today. A lot of folks hanging out, enjoying the food, enjoying the drinks. Beautiful day outside. Great day for curling all around. Stacy Sleddy throwing her first rock. Vice of this team, but we're throwing 3 for the duration of this game. Just getting caught probably with the changing ice conditions. Early end always speeds up as you go. Leaves an opportunity here for Team Fox. Freezing on that rock. That is back 4. Certainly a great outcome. Sweepers right off this. Maybe getting stuck in the same path that Stacy did on the previous rock. Oh. I stand corrected. Maybe catches a bit of the fresh pebble on the outside. Rock curls and slows quickly. Still not a bad result. It's a nice corner guard. Bit of surgery here for Stacy's second rock. Going to try to remove the red rock in the 12-foot without jamming it in. Great sweeping by Judy. Coast to coast. Holds that straight. Beautiful roll. Team Fox a bit on their heels here early. Jen wisely seeing the opportunity that Rock in the back four presents. This is Barbara Jo with her first rock of the end. Over curls just a hair. Does manage to open up second shot. Laura, I believe, requesting the center guard. Gonna maintain control of the front of the house, always important. Stacy comes up just a little bit heavy, but gets a great roll. Yellow and Team Heuer currently sitting 3. Good rock positioning in the front of the house. And Team Fox is going to have to try to find a way to dig out late in the end. This is Barbara Jo Paul's second rock. That rock really moving off the center line. Clips the corner guards, lines them up in kind of an unfortunate pattern. The end slipping away early here against Team Fox. We are on Skip's first rocks. Laura here, Skip of this team from Potomac. Looks like Laura's going to try to drop his center guard in. Judy Gilbert, just a spectator in this rock, looks a little bit heavy. Plenty of guards to wick off of. The end result is Team Heuer sitting at least 3. Might be hard to tell at home without the house cam, but the frontmost yellow guard that is on the edge of the forefoot there may be a biter. Not easy to tell from my angle either. And I think we're going into desperation mode here. Team Fox from CCBA. Jen, I think, will be happy to get a few of these rocks moving and hope to have at least something to score, or at least prevent a big score with her final rock. Looks like Jen Fox got all of this one. Not light. Does hang a little wider, probably because of the bit of extra weight. Does manage to peel off one of her guards. So maybe not the outcome she hoped for. Laura Heuer will be happy to guard up this small gap. Sorry, I just realized I've been calling Janice Judy this whole game. A little thrown off by the three-person lineup. My apologies, Janice. Rock away. This looks like much better weight this time. Stacy out of the house to help. That settles in beautifully on the center line. Good positioning. And this is going to be a tough draw for... I'm not sure there's much hope of scoring. Still an opportunity, though, to reduce the damage significantly. A rock that's even half 8 foot will limit it to steal of 1. Maybe not the ideal start, but certainly not a bad outcome. Final stone here, first end. Sweepers are on this early. Unclear if it's weight or line related. The rock does look like it's a little tight. Maybe a little combination of both. Settles in about the 3-guard position. So count them up. That's a steal of at least 4. I didn't see the signal from the vices to see if that biter was counting or not. So we'll just have to wait and see what the scoreboard says. That was indeed 5. So steal of 5 to open the game. Team Heuer now winning 5-0 over Team Fox from CCBA. But the other thing you could say is if you're going to give up a big end, you might as well do it in the first end. Still plenty of game left to make up the difference. No need to panic. Focus on scoring 2 or 3 if you can get them, and one end at a time. We are online monitoring the chat box, which you should see near the streaming video if you're tuned into the live stream site. So feel free to drop us questions or comments. Certainly love to hear from folks as they're probably watching this web stream instead of doing work or something. Also, let us know if there's some other teams playing you're particularly interested in. We can get you updates from those teams as well. So early in the second end, this is Alex Carroll from CCVA. Sorry, this is Caitlin Dyerly from CCVA. The lineup cards here are out of order, so again, I apologize, Caitlin and Alex, for mixing you two ladies up. Janice's first rock goes top 12. I suspect that was the call from Laura. It was a bright skip, and knows she's got the lead. No need for guards in play. Caitlin, great hit to remove the rock and slide over to the side of the house, change the line just a little bit. But Janice able to retort the takeout of her own. That rock looks like it's in the free guard zone still. So Team Fox elects to attempt the draw around. Caitlin's second rock comes up a little heavy. Runs straight as a result as well. This gives Janice and Team Heuer a chance to apply some pressure early here. Attempt to utilize that corner guard. Shrink the scoring area, get a rock, hopefully on top of the tee in the 4-foot. Stacy working hard. Janice comes to help. Rock comes up in a 2-guard position. Certainly usable. Fortunately, it's also usable by both teams. Sweeper's happy to watch this one. Looks like a small hand gesture indicating might be a little heavy. Indeed. Similar path to Caitlin had just thrown. Maybe that line just a little faster than the other ones, catching the teams a little off guard here. Not uncommon. First and second end. Lines kind of warming up asymmetrically. Sometimes hard to get an exact read on the speed you need. So Stacy, with their first rock, first of 3, looks to capitalize, try to play a tap. Misses the tap, but catches a really crazy curl line. Weight would have been perfect for the tap. Ends up being just a little bit heavy for the draw, but surprised she fit through that hole at all. Looks really tight from my angle. Well, it is what it is. Team Heuer currently shot, back 4. Team Fox will try to utilize this rock in the back of the house, I think. It's like a little better weight. Just a couple feet heavy. The shots are tricky. Sometimes it looks like you've missed them by a ton, but really, the line on that rock was pretty good. Just about 2 or 3 feet less weight. Would have curled over nice and been near the nose. Bit of an opportunity squandered. Stacy Sleddy with her second of 3 rocks. Again, caught in what appears to be a bit of a fast path. This rock carrying back 4. Stops third shot. Quite a pocket forming. With guards in play and rocks in the back 4, this has really become a race to the 4-foot. First team to squeeze one in on top of the tee, pretty much guaranteed to score in this end. This is Alex's first rock. Looks like a beauty. Sweepers work it great by the guard. It is a touch heavy, but will end up shot. Also moves the yellow rock away. Not a bad result given the position of that. Stacy's final rock. Weight looks great. Janice working it. Line is perfect. Beautiful freeze. Very little tap. That rock is going nowhere. But the only bad thing you could say is it's its back button. Still plenty of room for Team Fox to sneak one in here and get at least a point out of the end. Both teams seem to have figured this line out. Rolling their shots right across the button. Really great result. Removes their backer rock. So CCVA all of a sudden sitting first and third shot. Kind of angle lined up on one of Team Heuer's rocks. There's kind of 2 approaches you could take here. Laura Heuer could elect to throw the hit. I think she has access to the nose of that rock, which would remove her backer, probably remove shot rock from the house as well. Should leave her in the top 4 with CCVA sitting second shot. The other approach is maybe slightly more aggressive, and is the shot she chose, which is the freeze. If you make this shot, it's really good because kind of nullifies that rock that's sitting third right now. Laura misses what I would call the right way on that shot. A little light. Occludes the forefoot. Got a rock that'll be useful later. Leaves CCVA sitting 1, but with not much of the forefoot to score. Score a second. This is Jen Fox's first rock. Joining me now, we have a guest commentator.
Hello. It took me a minute to adjust these headphones because Dobbs' head is much bigger than mine. Is anybody watching this? Oh, we have 15 viewers. Hello, everybody. This is Courtney Shaw.
First rock for Team Fox. I'm sorry, first skip rock for Team Fox.
What's she playing here?
I think this is maybe a guard, but came up a little heavy. Finishes the job that Laura started.
Oh, no.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate result. It's hard to tell whose shot.
I think it's yellow.
Yeah, my fear is that it is Team Heuer now. The rock's going to be difficult to remove, the yellow rock that's top button.
Yeah. I think the only shot that she might have for 2 would potentially be to run that red back and try to hit kind of the inside half of that yellow, and then she might drive the red back onto the yellow and potentially sit 2, but that's a really tough shot. I guess this is desperate times. They are down 5, but it's a long game. Even if they could just get 1 and kind of turn the tables on their luck in this game.
Sometimes it's just a matter of getting rid of that pesky hammer.
It's hard. It's really hard when you're thinking that in the second end of the game, though.
Laura's final rock of the end.
It looks like it's hack weight.
Yeah, the call was, I believe, for top 8. So this rock, just a little heavy. So decision time for Team Fox.
All right, up. It's already going. Yep, just let it be. It's going to go.
Thank you.
I think Team Fox has the option of throwing the run back on their own stone, top 12. Certainly not an easy shot, but I think it's fairly safe.
She appears to be playing a draw of some sort, and I'm not sure that any good can come of this.
Yeah, I don't think she can score with the draw. I think I would prefer, were it me, I would throw the run back here. Hard to give up more than a steal of 1 with the run back.
It's hard to say. I might, if I think I'm sitting 1, I might just take my 1.
Questions will be answered here momentarily. This does appear to be a draw. Sweepers are monitoring it closely. I think we just got off the path where the most play has occurred. So the rock slows down considerably, ends up in the one guard position. So Vice is out there now.
Well, they seem to know who scored.
Yeah, they seem confident. And we're left in suspense for the moment.
Oh, it was red.
Oh,
Well, so now they're just 4 shots left to kind of close that gap. Go hard for the steal.
yeah,
You
only second.
never know what'll happen. It's women's curling. Anything can happen. These ladies like to put a lot of guards in play.
Certainly plenty of game left. No reason to panic just yet.
Man, I'm really blown away by the tank top that we're seeing on sheet C. It is really not very warm out there, and I don't know how somebody could be playing in a tank top, but
Yeah, it was. It's been warming up steadily throughout the day. Last I checked, which was before this draw, it was about 37 degrees. Not balmy by any respect.
not bombing. So looks like the sweepers are working hard to get this over the hog line, but line's looking good for a center line guard if they've got the juice. There's yelling. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Not enough weight. Shoot. Oh, Laura's going aggressive. She's calling for the corner guard.
interesting call. He could just throw a rock into the house. Your opponents can't really hit. They really need to utilize the free guard zone if they're going to have any hope of stealing.
Oh, I just realized that Team Heuer is only playing with 3 curlers.
Yes, Judy is absent from the lineup.
Judy
Gilbert?
Gilbert? Oh, okay.
The corner guard comes up. Great position in terms of depth, maybe a little close to the center line. Essentially acts as a center guard.
She might be in an argument. The outcome might justify why you wouldn't call a guard in that position. Because you get a little wide, you guard the center, and you actually help the other team who's trying to come back in this game.
Yeah, that rock certainly occludes the draw to the 4-foot. We'll see how that plays out later in the end.
And, oh,
This is Caitlin's second rock at the end. Does stop short of the house.
put that corner guard up that Laura was looking for. But Laura's going around her own guard. Good decision. They just do this line. They know what it'll do.
Yep. Important to keep this above the tee.
This looks like this one may be a little bit light. But, oh, maybe not. Oh, nope, she's going in there nicely.
Wow,
Even
great
buried
finish.
behind that guard. Good shot. by-
Actually, may have picked at the end there. I saw it looked like it started to change rotation. It did seem that it curled kind of an abnormal amount at the end. Regardless, it's a great outcome. That rock will be dead buried from the righty hack.
From the radio. Which means it's like extra buried from the lefty hack.
Now, I'm actually sitting behind the lefty hack, and I can see just a tiny piece.
On the outside,
Yes.
I wouldn't want to throw that even from the lefty hack.
Certainly not with my left hand.
But with your right hand?
Now I'm just getting confused. BJ's first rock.
This looks like she's going to get a piece of it.
Yes, throws a heavy draw weight, we'll call it. Knocks the yellow rock into the open. Currently sitting second shot, but I think she'll be very happy with that result. Laura electing to deal with the rock in the house.
It's a wise decision, I think. She should be able to see a decent amount of this stone.
Yeah, there is a danger of tapping the rock back and making it freeze on the rock that's in the tee line.
I think they are concerned of this outcome and...
Nope.
Oh, and she makes it nicely. Great shot.
There appears to be a very curly spot that Laura has identified in the ice and is taking it full advantage of, almost getting to nose around that guard. Great result.
Great ice reading by Laura Heuer.
Looks like Team Fox is called for the takeout. Remove the rock from the tee line. Indeed, this is got some gusto.
It's got some curling to do, too. She'll make contact, but I'm not sure that she's going to stick around. Nope.
Yeah, maybe just a touch more weight than they wanted. That looked to be close to 9.5 seconds, hog to hog.
Now Laura says, well, what do I do here? I'm not sure that I agree with that call, Laura.
She got some options.
That corner guard doesn't really hurt you at this point. I wouldn't mind the split. You could split that. Shot rock under the guard and then flop under the other guard.
Exactly what I was thinking, actually. Even if you move that guard to be back 8, or I'm sorry, the rock that is currently top 8 to back 8, and roll the other one behind that corner guard.
This is a very defensive call, and I'm not sure it's a very warranted defensive call. And Stacy's rock is curling like crazy.
Seems to be a common theme on rocks that are thrown from the center line
inside out,
toward the sides.
We did find that in our game as well. A lot of curl, so inside out, and not so much on the outside in. So she'll have most of this rock, Alex, to try to hit, and maybe she can flop behind their own guard.
Yeah, I think she'll see all of this rock. Weight control is really the name of the game here. Important to make a good roll.
Line's looking pretty decent. Is it curling too much?
It is curling. The sweepers are working hard.
Oh. She hang around? Yep.
Just clips the center guard. End result, not terrible. Does manage to send the corner guard that had previously been put up into the edge of the 12-foot, so that might make the blank harder for Laura later down the road. I think recognizing this, Laura is elected to get some rocks in play.
She drawing behind that corner guard now, finally. Realizing that guard is her friend. Oh, this is really light. It's like a 2 guard.
I believe so.
2-3.
Yeah, rock just comes up light.
Okay, now we got several guards that she can roll under. Some stagger. She makes this one. It'll be hard to get rid of this rock.
Yeah, first one to roll under those guards. It's going to be in good shape.
There are a few 5s that were scored in this draw. There's 5 on sheet A as well. This one's looking better. It's a nice down weight. I think she's going to get some good finish.
Great weight control. The
Oh,
rock
a little late on the on the line call there.
Rock curls a lot, but great weight control to manage to keep the shooter. Not shot, but certainly takes the blank out of the equation.
Not a lot of blanks in women's curling. Yeah, it definitely looks like a lot of big ends being scored on sheet D. There was a 3-end in the first and a 3-end in the second to tie her up. So not a lot of defense that happens in these games. Except for my team. Is the call here a guard? What do we know?
I believe
Or just a draw in front
it was
of
a
it.
draw in front of that rock, and going by the sweeping, I would say I'm pretty confident of that call.
Well, it's a decent guard.
It is. I think Laura's fear there was she's starting to see some red rocks accumulate in the house. Maybe didn't want to end up in a situation where she was drawing against a bunch. So elects to throw the draw with the option to come up a little light and leave a guard.
A lot of deliberation going on the sheet now. I actually like this opportunity for the CCVA girls to just try to sink one behind that staggered center guard situation.
Yeah, there's a couple shots. They have a few options, so I think the deliberation is warranted. You could draw around the rock that was just thrown. If you throw it on the inside path, you don't even need to be frozen right to it.
Looks like that's what she's chosen.
Yeah, as long as you're close, you could set up a jam. So there's plenty of room to get shot. Current shot is not touching the forefoot, so plenty of area. And if Jen makes a good one here, really could apply that pressure that we're talking about. This rock appears to be curling early.
Yeah, nothing good is going to happen here for that team.
No, unfortunate. I'm not sure if it was a pick. It's also intern side. Sometimes can be easy to over-rotate and get that rock moving before it's time.
Oh, I love women's curling on sheet C. The team with an 8-0 lead just threw up a center guard. Zero defense. These ladies put the pedal to the floor and just go for it.
They just go for it. It's like watching skins play. Makes for some exciting end of the game situations. This is Laura's first rock?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What's the call? Is she hitting some of the...
Yeah, I think Laura is trying to take out the red rock that is currently second shot.
It's not an awful shot call. There's not really a great spot to put another rock. You always feel bad for the one sweeper. It's like, all the way, Janice.
Well,
it's a great shot.
Maybe not anymore, as a lot of the top teams are opting for the single sweeper method.
At least for hits. So.
It's a good shot by Laura Heuer.
It is. I think probably the best option for CCVA at this point. You know, could be that hit and roll. I mean, I really think with that staggered center guard situation, if you could just draw one behind there, it's going to be really easy to either force or maybe even get a steal. But I'm not seeing a lot of confidence in draw weights and lines being called by this team. So I think that maybe this hit might be a safer option.
Well, they might be discussing the tap as well.
On what? Oh, on that red corner guard?
On the red, yes, the red corner guard, which you should be able to see. Yes. Not a terrible shot. It seems like it may be more difficult than it needs to be. When you could just simply draw into the 4-foot. And anything that is behind those guards and touching the 4-foot, as long as it's ahead of the tee, is going to really make it challenging for Laura to score. The button will be wide open, no matter what. Looks like the final call is the raise. Say, I do think she has the broom in the right spot for this shot.
Well, that's good. It's a good first step to making a shot.
Yes.
We think she's tapping. She should have all of that rock, so because
Yes.
I almost have all that rock, and I'm on the wrong side of the sheet.
Yeah, there is air between the kind of longer off-center guard and this red rock, so the shot's certainly there. Sweepers are happy. I think they need to sweep at some point.
Oh, it's over curling.
Yeah, maybe waited just a little too long. The weight looked pretty good. Would have at least got to the 8-foot. Instead, moves the center guard over. Actually, makes it fairly challenging for Laura to squeeze in for 3. She'll have the in-turn draw, I think, which is probably her best bet. Looks like she may be electing for the out-turn tap, which, well, a little more complicated, certainly safer. Could be a scoreboard shot there.
She's tapping that guard.
There are holes for her to slip through with a draw, but from where I'm sitting, that looks pretty challenging. So I would have to guess that she is playing.
Well, I mean, that yellow guard is basically, it's a center line guard. You should know the draw around that on the intern side.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a pretty big hole.
yeah, the intern side definitely is a big hole. Yeah, and there might be just a scoreboard shot. If she's ever wide on that intern.
Oh, those look like a lot of weight. She
is currently on the red rock.
It's curling.
It is starting to curl now. May get the
through
tap
the hole.
In. Almost gets a split. If it wasn't for that outside red rock, would be 4. Still score of 3. So Laura really breaking the game open now.
That was quite a fortuitous backline weight, wicky-wacky draw to the 12-foot.
It is a results-oriented game. And with that, after 3 ends.
This is a true statement, Melvin Shaw.
Team Heuer, 8. Team Fox from CCVA,
1.
How about updates from elsewhere in the club? Do we know who's playing on sheet D?
No. Oh, it's Ann Wiggins. I see Ann Wiggins. That team is being skipped by Emily English. And that is a 3-fest. I'm not sure who they're playing. I'm looking. I'm not identifying who that skip is. But it looks like they're scoring in quantities of 3. And the score is currently 6-3 with the skip, who I don't know, being up. This is a high-quality score update here. Oh, I think Melvin's doing some recon on the score updates. Yeah, this is the second game on Sheet D, I know.
And that is Team Hugs Not Jugs, skipped by Virginia McElroy.
That's not a real name.
Which, the skip's name or the team name?
I like Hugs Not Jugs. That's a good name.
That's a pretty
No,
good name.
Virginia McElroy to me does not sound like a real person. Oh, there's at least some people from Philly, because I recognize Tracy and Pam Stefani. So that must be a Philly team. I'm just not familiar with Virginia McElroy. But yeah, that's the 3-fest. They're up 6-3 over Emily English's team. On sheet A, looks like we have Julie Tomatellis, and she is playing against a woman that I do not know. Let's see, who is that? Recon, Melvin, recon. Oh wait, Laura's like chucked her broom. Oh, so wait, is Julie playing with that woman who I don't know?
Yes.
And it appears that they're playing Liz Andrew.
They're playing Liz Andrew, yes.
I was confused because Julie was standing on the boards while the rest of her team was making a shot. I'm not sure what's going on there, some strange behavior, but it does appear that the Potomac team skipped by Liz Andrew has a solid lead at 5-2 after 3.
Yeah. Potomac, Chesapeake, showdown. Great Cross Bay rivalry going there.
And so on sheet C, we're just jumping all over the place. There is Team Austin Leary versus the Curling Chicks. And I don't know the names very well on these teams, but I do believe one of those teams is from Plainfield. And the other team, I believe, is from Cape Cod. And I'm not sure name-wise who's who. But one of those teams is up 8-0.
Back on our feature sheet.
A little more open end this time.
Yeah, no guards in play. Maybe not the way that Team Fox wanted this end to set up.
And only one Red Rock in the house currently.
A lonely Red Rock.
Had a shot to sit 2 there, but didn't quite convert.
Looks like this is the 4th rock of the end, first for Stacy Slutty.
You know, the appropriate pronunciation of that name, Melvin, is Schletta.
I was not aware of that.
She just says Slutty because nobody else can pronounce it correctly. But it is a Scandinavian name, and the appropriate pronunciation is Schletta. But Stacy Schletta will not be as happy with that shot because she just blew right past that red rock and is leaving them an opportunity to sit to maybe see if they can redeem themselves for the hit that rolled out.
Indeed, a great opportunity here to set up the junior deuce, as it's called.
This has got some heat. The sweepers are still moving at a good pace. I'm afraid that this one's going to the boards.
It's really good to use all of your senses when judging weight. From here in the warm room, generally the speed of the gate for the sweepers, the best indication.
When they're still at a trot halfway down the sheet and the call is a draw, you generally know that it's a bit heavy.
Janice on this rock immediately. Looks a little soft. Again, that inside out line.
It is curling like
Curling mad. It seems like no amount of sweeping can stop it. Does manage to make good contact with shot stone, however.
Good recovery from Stacy.
Team Heuer now sitting shot. Kind of off to the side. I heard an exclamation of fudge. Something crazy must have happened.
Fudge. Oh, thank you, Michael Dobbs. He has identified teams for us by color so that we can make some updates.
There does seem to be a disproportionate number of Manitoba Tucks coming out of CCVA these days.
Well, you know why that is, don't you?
Yes.
Why don't you tell our viewers?
Because I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Some guy with a tuck taught them all to tuck. I don't actually even know who it is. Do I know who did that?
I don't know. So maybe a bit of a breakdown in tactics there. Team Fox elects for the takeout.
Burned another rock. We have a comment. Did somebody burn a stone? Or is she just suggesting we burned another rock in trying to make that takeout unsuccessfully? Oh, well.
She does touch the house.
She does. 2 sweepers would have gotten it there. We'll just say that.
The rock, even though it's in the house, does act as a guard, essentially.
We're still going for this hit, which maybe isn't the wisest decision.
Yeah, plenty of 4-foot area behind that rock, that biter that was just thrown. Kind of a gift.
Yeah, when you have a guard thrown up for you in a situation where you're trying to score multiple points, it might be a good idea to bail on this hit.
Yeah, especially we've seen a lot of rocks over curl on this inside-out line.
Oh, my gosh.
Unfortunate
It's just going from bad to worse.
Yeah, unfortunate result there. Rock does over curl. It's not dead buried under the guard, but it is close. But the only good thing to say from Team Fox's perspective is it is straddling the backside of the tee line. Seeing that, I might elect to try to kind of Christmas tree, sit top 8 in front of the rock that's currently in the 4-foot. Take away any kind of hit and roll or any kind of freeze, at least on the outer side.
Not a bad call. Well, Melvin Shaw, I'm going to take this opportunity to adjourn and turn the microphone back over to the silky sounds of Michael Dobbs and let you guys close this deal.
Thank you for your colorful contribution. Laura Hewer's first shot of this fourth end. Currently sitting 2. She's not going to be too sad about that. Looks like she elects to draw on the intern side. Probably utilize her her guard. Possibly sit wide open as well would be a great call. We'll see where this shot ends up. Maybe not what she wanted. That rock over curls and comes up light.
Let it be. No. No. No.
Yes, indeedy, folks. The sultry sound of Michael Dobbs is back here talking you through the fourth end here on Sheet B at the draw number 3 of the Women's Mid-Atlantic Bonspiel here at the Potomac Curling Club. Let's see how many words we can string together in the same sentence. So we are looking here at 2 yellow in the house. One's just a biter, but one's solidly in on the tee line, but fully exposed. Jen is looking for a hit and roll behind cover. Rock is on target. I think they're oversweeping it.
Yeah, maybe a few too many licks of the brush.
You know, I played on the sheet last night, and that line ran super straight. You were always afraid it was going to curl, but it never did. So I think I can understand the hesitation to let it curl.
Yeah, the reciprocal line, the inside out, has been over curling, so
Exactly.
that would kind of make sense.
So tell me, Mr. Melvin, what do you think of the new rule for competitive teams where you're only allowed 4 brooms for a team for an entire game?
I gotta say, my teams have never been the type to carry around 6, 7, 8 brooms like you do see some of the teams play. I guess maybe given some of the controversy that's arising with broom materials, it's just a case of simplifying the enforcement of broom pad materials.
Very true.
I'm not sure that it's entirely necessary, I will have to say. One of the reasons that teams do carry so many brooms, aside from just having the option to switch from hair to synthetic as the ice conditions change, is that broom pads get less effective when they get wet, and they also cause more pebble damage when they get wet. So by having multiple brooms at the ready, you can switch between shots or between ends whenever you see fit, give a chance for your pad to kind of dry out. So certainly, from that perspective, I think the rule is actually kind of negative, especially given that waterproof heads are specifically some of the heads that have been banned.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would say that it's probably unnecessary.
Well, perhaps it simply goes just a little too far. Because I've heard, teams would have like a stack of 20 brooms available during a game. They could use whatever they want. But maybe perhaps the restriction should be 4 + 1 or 4 + 2 so that you have 1 or 2 extra brooms.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine switching a horse here in and out. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like it's like golf where we have a club limitation on bags because different clubs have that drastic of effect on the ball. We don't see that with the brooms. There's really pretty much 2 choices. It's hair and synthetic. I agree that probably the fewer rules the better in most circumstances.
Well, I found it very interesting that along with the 1 broom per person rule, they allow the lead, the second, and the vice to switch brooms among themselves as much as they want. But the skip has to use the same broom the whole game. They can't switch out with the other team members.
By the way, great draw, Jen Fox, to get her one.
Sometimes one is all you need.
Sometimes it's
a moral victory.
It is a moral victory. You starts with 1 point in order to clamber your way back.
I mean, she's only got to steal 2-3 times and tie game. That's possible.
Certainly possible, especially given the amount of curl we've seen thus far.
Lines are a bit crazy, so.
Anyway, getting back to your comment, certainly makes sense with the front end players being able to swap brooms. Common configuration is to have a hair broom out in front to kind of clean up frost and remove debris, and then have your sweeper who is closer to the rock with the synthetic, where it's likely going to be more effective in actually controlling the deceleration and trajectory of the rock. Not allowing the skip to change, that really makes no sense to me. I have no good reason for why that is the case.
Well, my theory behind it is that, like, you could essentially give your skip a fresh broom head at the beginning of the game, of course, and then just not use it at all, and then, we got a takeout coming up. We really need a fresh broom head here in the 7th end.
Yeah.
We can switch out with a skip, and I think that's what they were trying to prevent.
I think what it all comes down to is that the governing bodies really are going to have a lot of work to do after this season's over to solidify these rules.
Agreed.
In terms of what broom heads are allowed, what broom heads are not allowed. Hopefully that'll be done with more transparency than it has been done now. Certainly, it's pretty tainted with accusations of conflict of interest. Being World Curling Federation leadership are also invested in some of the major curling supply makers. So
it's certainly a tight-knit relationship between equipment manufacturers and the sport in general.
Yeah, it is just kind of a mess. And there is, I guess, some anecdotal evidence, and if there's video evidence, obviously we haven't, I'm not privy to it, that some of these heads that we're calling, air quotes, directional heads, their effect is far more pronounced when they're new, and then as they're used throughout the game, the effect becomes less pronounced. So maybe that is behind the main motivation behind why you limit the number of brooms, so that the effect is at least isolated to early game.
Pardon us, while one of our fellow commentators gets a question from the audience, but now he's back.
It looks like I'm going to actually step away for a minute. I'm double dutying as Ice Tech, and we may have a hack issue.
So
I'm going to go ahead and resolve that.
Good luck. Yeah, we are an all-volunteer organization, as most of you watching will probably know. So lots of us wear many different hats. We might be simultaneously webcast operators, and as Melvin is, ice technicians, or working the bar and the kitchen and webcasting and just being available to answer the phone call. Back here on sheet B, it looks like, as I adjust my opener, pardon that interruption, folks. Had a slight equipment malfunction. But back here on sheet B, it looks like Team Heuer was sitting one already, and they have almost frozen with a slight tap back to Jen Fox's rock in the back of the house. So Heuer is now definitely sitting 2, partially under the red guard. A very nice position to try and force Fox to a 1 or even get a steal out of this. Looks like Fox is calling for the draw down 2, that pile. Gonna try and just add to it. Perhaps set up some kind of an angle to take the yellow out eventually. But no need to rush it. I believe they're still in the front end rocks here, so lots of this end left to play. Sweepers stay off of it, and it finally starts to really move at the end. They just get it by the guard, wind up taking the top yellow, leaving themselves shot. They're about half exposed, but the jams there are pretty important, actually. Lots of jam possibilities on the red rock. It does look like Heuer is going to go for some kind of a takeout. It might take her 2 or 3 rocks to get rid of it, but I think she'll like where she winds up no matter what happens. Is it Stacy coming out? Oh, the rock takes off early. It's already past the red guard, and it's just past everything. I'm not sure whether she started the rock moving that way or whether she was a little narrow or if the rock just curled more than they expected. Now a little change. Team Fox with a chance to throw up a guard here and get their shot rock behind cover, but it actually looks like they're calling for a freeze onto their own shot rock, or at least get really close. Try and set up for a big end here. She is down 6, so certainly wants a nice setup. As a reminder, Jen Fox throwing the red rocks does not have hammer. This is BJ Paulsa for Team Fox, throwing her second of 2 rocks. I'm sorry, that is Alex Weiss for Team Fox, throwing her first of 2 rocks. The sweepers just clip the guard, but wind up leaving their shooter half in the 8-foot. So currently red is sitting 1 and 3. Yellow is second shot behind the tee line. I think Laura just wants to blast it. And by the way, hi, Mark. Rock is away from the Weiss, Stacy. This one is over overcurling. Let's see what happens at the end here. Gonna get a nice solid hit. Makes contact with both red rocks. Unfortunately, red is still shot and is now completely buried. To get at that, they'd have to do a raise on their own yellow. Jen opting to try and draw behind the yellow guard since there is quite so much curl. Gonna try and sit 1-2 here. The danger is if she's exposed and deep enough, she might open up a double on her own 2 red rocks to leave yellow with an opportunity. This is Alex Carroll, Weiss for Team Fox with her second of 2 rocks. This rock has not curled behind the guard yet, but the sweepers are on it a lot. They come off at the end. All right, the rock wound up pretty light. It's just a guard, but it does make the raised takeout much harder and expand the guard coverage towards the center a little bit, setting up for some kind of a steal. Narrowing the port to the button. Narrowing the path to the button. clearly, our many hat-wearing member, Melvin Shaw, has returned from his ice technician duties, bringing with him a chisel and a hex wrench. So, how's that hack doing, Melvin?
Hopefully better now. That's all it takes. Chisel, Allen wrench, few laughs.
Very nice. You know, my favorite new tool for repairing hacks is actually the wet, dry mini vac we have in the back now. It just sucks all that snow right out.
I haven't tried that. Sometimes the ice gets wedged down in the bottom of the holes where the pins go. So this chisel can really grind that out of there.
Absolutely.
And you need to make sure you have that full pin sticking in. Otherwise, it's just kind of a matter of physics. There's too short of a shaft on the pin in the hole, and when you get the angular motion from the push, it has a tendency to squeeze up and out. Oh, rejoicing on sheet A.
I'm not sure why, but
Not sure what happened, but they're having fun.
absolutely. Back here on sheet B, Stacy made a very nice draw behind the guards. She's about half buried, but it's a dangerous angle if Jen were to go to the hit.
Is that her rock top 4?
Yep.
Oh, that is a great position.
Jen's only option here is to come down to it, basically, to set up a future hit on it. She looks a little tight, though.
Yeah. In theory, you could probably come around it, but man, that's a tough shot. I would not want to be throwing that.
Well, she's crashing on the guard.
In practice.
Actually, curls past nose.
It's tight and light, I think, as they say in the biz.
Winds up actually raising her guard towards the center line, expanding coverage of that new yellow rock. Unfortunate.
So let's see. Team Heuer with hammer. Looks like they're electing for the center guard. I'm going to go on record as saying I'm not a fan of this tactic. I think the only way you get yourself in trouble at the moment is with a center guard. Gives your opponent the ability to come around it and sit top button, at which point, just given the way the guards especially are laid out, you have no access.
And in a perfect world, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, the proper shot here is clear the front, make sure you have a path to the button for your hammer. But, I mean, with not elite players.
Well, I mean, I think there's some other options. You could sit wide open. You could draw away from the 4-foot.
All right.
Just sit wide open. Sit second shot.
That's true. You could draw to the left side here.
Yep. Your opponent has really no recourse against that rock except to draw again. It's a pretty good outcome.
Yeah, because if you smash that,
Yeah.
the back yellow in the 4-foot is going to jam on the pile on the back right.
I was just going to say,
who knows?
The other option might be to try to freeze onto your rock that is currently shot, get as close to nose as possible.
Well, unfortunately, this is Jen's last rock, so she is opting to just draw.
This is Jen's last rock?
This is Jen's last rock.
It's probably the smart choice given the scoreboard.
Well, we did have a quick update from our chat room here. The celebration over on sheet A that we heard was celebrating 8 yellow guards.
8 yellow guards.
8 rocks in play from yellow, none of them in the house. All of them guards. I'm not quite sure that's something to celebrate, but why not?
I think that's quite an accomplishment.
It is impressive if it's on purpose. All right, this rock looks a little heavy.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Oh, it's very heavy, unfortunately. That means that Heuer is currently sitting 2 with an open draw for 3. She needs full 8 foot, and a little better than full 8 foot. Laura Heuer away with her hammer for this, the 5th end here on sheet B.
Janice just on and off, light dusting.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a good sign.
Going hard at the end. Ooh, brings out the second sweeper. And it's just light. It will only be 2 for Team Heuer. They currently lead Team Fox by a score of 10-2.
They rock. Seem to just slow down as it approached the center line. Not uncommon for the slide path to get a little fudgy and be slower than the lines just to either side. So maybe just caught a little off guard. But I guess the good news is still get 2 points.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as much as you hate leaving points off the board, or leaving points on the sheet instead of putting them on the board, my brain is just not working right now. I can't remember that phrase. It's all good.
I can't, yeah.
Don't mind getting 2, especially when you're up.
Bit of a situation brewing on sheet C. Yellow currently sitting 3, I believe, with hammer? No. Sorry, without hammer. So that's, I guess, good news. Except for if you were...
Well, yellow may be sitting 3 without hammer, but they are down by a score of 10-1.
That was going to be my comment. If they had potentially a 3 or maybe even a 4 in the works here, that could actually get them back in the game. As it is, there'll be a draw against several, likely here.
Yeah, put the pressure on a little bit. Draws are never gimme shots. You have to make them. Very easy to leave it short or throw it through.
So Laura opts for the center guard. Perfectly placed.
I don't think that's what she called.
Oh, really?
I think she said T or through, but
Okay.
I was distracted by sheet C, so she might have changed her mind.
Yeah, me as well. Tactically, certainly T line or through the house would make a little more sense. Regardless, perfect center guard goes up.
Line's great.
Caitlin's rock currently, or clearly, not turning out as they wanted.
Unfortunately not, and it's not what Team Fox needs at the moment. Laura's trying to just draw behind her center guard here.
Yeah, it looks like Janice is another good one here.
Ooh.
Maybe wasn't the call to throw the center guard, but
Yeah. Use it.
certainly takes advantage. Fully buried, or at least mostly buried.
Yeah, over curled actually, poked out the other side.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
But still, rocking the top 4 foot, up by a lot, can't complain. Oh, did that pick?
This is following a similar path to her previous one. It is actually going to be in play, but probably in the...
It's going towards the
It is
sideline.
actually out of play.
Wow.
Just ran out of sheet. Laura's having that dilemma. Where do you put a rock to not cause yourself harm?
Yeah, I would almost just throw it through. You can throw it through. You can peel your own guard. Or
throwing it through is not a bad option. Peeling is, the scoreboard would say that's not a bad idea, although it is such a nice guard.
It is. It's a great guard, especially when you draw behind it.
It's kind of a shame. This is great. Jan is just killing at this end.
Perfect center guard, perfect draw behind, perfect freeze.
Yeah, almost freeze.
But it's about a rock, but it's great.
That's about the only spot on the sheet you could have put the rock that wouldn't have caused Laura consternation later.
Mm-hmm. There's basically no way that rock can hurt you. Anywhere else on the sheet, it could have eventually hurt you, but not right there. Just to keep you all up to date on some of the other games going on here in Draw 3 at the Mid-Atlantic Women's Bonspiel. Over on Sheet A, may the Plan Bs be ever in your favor. Do have a sizable lead over the Repeaters from Curling Club of Virginia. Sorry, from Chesapeake. May the Plan Bs be ever in your favor is currently leading 8-2. Over on Sheet C, it's the Red Rocks that are leading. Austin Leary over Curling Chicks, a score of 10-1 right now. Sheet D is a little closer. Throwing Red Rocks is Team English. They currently have 4 points. They are trailing Hugs Not Jugs, who have 7.
Team English on Sheet D, down 3 without the hammer, but currently sitting shot with some center guards in play, so keep you posted on how that develops. Meanwhile, on our feature sheet,
I guess it's just pile up the center.
Yeah, it looked like a light takeout attempt, just was a little wide, just wicks one of the rocks in the center.
I mean, when you don't have the hammer, this is what you're supposed to do: clog up the middle, put one on the button, and
this is textbook steel right here. Stacy's rock, I think maybe comes up a little light, but not terrible.
Yeah, the only disadvantage to that rock is it leaves a double on the guards.
Yes.
So it doesn't improve them that much, but yet again, can't really complain about it.
Yeah, when you're winning, you definitely want your opponents hitting. And to not give up an even bigger steal, that's pretty much what Team Fox has to do here. They're going to pick one of these guards out.
Oh, move all 4 rocks.
Great result. Great result.
Absolutely.
Doesn't leave a center guard, but moves one of the yellows back button.
Mm-hmm. That's a really nice result.
Yeah, Team Heuer still sitting too, but in nowhere near as strong a position as they were.
Absolutely.
Laura, I believe calling for a guard here. Maybe looking to block the path to the freeze.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't even mind the freeze yourself, but get on that path before the other team does. It's a little light.
It is, but I think the line is okay, and it is in play. Needs to stop curling. I think that's enough.
That's a fine rock.
I think that's enough. The double is pretty steep.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The double is basically at 45-degree angles in the house. A 45-degree angle in the house. which makes the double and stick incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's more of a redirect than it is a double.
The wick and stick.
Yes, the wick and stick.
Trademark.
You deserve that.
I'm not sure I want to claim that one. Alex getting very low on this delivery here. Looks close.
Just going to over curl.
Ah.
I liked the weight control, but maybe a little tight to the broom.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was your plan B there. Just peel the guard a little bit. Leave you the same shot or an easier shot. This one looking awfully light.
It will make it over.
Just barely, but it's over. It's not over enough to be seen on our camera, but it is indeed over.
Oh. Yes. Just believe us when we tell you that there is a rock that is about half a rock off center on the right side as you're looking at.
Our close-up does cut it off, so we'll back it up, show you all the mess up front. But the wick and stick is still there.
The wick and stick is there. Straight draw, also probably still there.
Absolutely. Alex yet again with a super low delivery.
I think tight again. She's going to almost nose this that really long guard.
Little light. But splits it open. Essentially another plan B.
Prolonging the inevitable, I'm afraid.
Unfortunately. I mean, with only 2 ends after this, Fox really does need a big end here. She can't even afford the blank, I would think.
No.
She needs 3, at least 2 right now, but 3 or more would be satisfying.
Yeah, there's no great way to approach a 5-point deficit. In an ideal world, you would get the steal of 3, maybe get the force and hope to score 3 with the hammer on the way home. Not an ideal scenario.
As I'm being reminded by one of our other curling friends here, Jen only has 2 rocks left. So 3 at this point is impossible.
I think the math is against them.
That flip?
Looks like it may have changed handles.
Yep. Well, no matter how it happened, it started moving outside instead of inside. So the center path is still open. Jen can come down and just sit on the button.
The rock may have been a little heavy. What the change of handle ends up in the back of the house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I certainly think it was heavy, but could have still been useful.
Yeah, opportunity here.
Mm-hmm. Door is certainly open for 2.
Game on sheet A, maybe not the tightest game we have on the ice, but they certainly seem to be enjoying themselves. Both teams congregating around the hack.
Well, I think they are deciding if there's a rule about how many ends they have to play.
Oh, this is not a Grand Slam.
Indeed. We don't have TV requirements.
Yes.
You don't have to play 6 or 8 ends. I think they've got the time. They're just opting to throw rocks. Play the end.
As long as everyone's on board, I don't see a problem.
Exactly. This is going to be a decent shot from Jen here.
Pretty good.
She'll sit shot,
She will sit shot,
which
for the
was
moment.
important.
Maybe a little more weight than she would have liked. Removes the backing. Not a trivial shot, though.
No, the line here is very tricky on getting that hit. If you're a little far outside, it'll run super straight. If you're too far inside, it's going to really hook on you.
Yep. And if you are a little wide, you'll just redirect off of your own rock that's in the top 8, leaving an open draw for 2. Certainly hitting the guard doesn't help you at all. You'd love to be able to throw the intern at this, but that guard makes that impossible.
Yeah. Absolutely. Got to come outside in and just keep it straight.
This is about 2 rocks widths of ice. Predicting a down weight hit.
Yeah, no more than bumper. Maybe even hack. Well, nothing to do but watch her throw it.
Does not look light.
It's not light at all.
A little early sweeping.
It's close.
It's curling nice.
Solid shot.
Yes. Laura Here's been having a great game and really a great season so far. She was in our Wednesday league. Currently made the jump from the house, which is the second tier division, to the top tier division.
Very nice. Well, and she's going to club playdowns, I believe.
She will be in the mess of club playdowns that starts Wednesday morning. The ladies start on Friday.
Yep. 3 sheet club, 3 women's teams, 18 men's teams.
This is the first time I'll be involved in a triple knockout tournament that has the A event winner also playing in the B event and also playing in the C event.
Yep.
Trying to just divvy out as many losses as you possibly can so that the tournament doesn't take a week.
Although it is taking 6 days right now, I believe. Isn't it Wednesday to Monday?
It is scheduled Wednesday to Monday with the hope that the games on Monday will not be required. They're all tie breaks.
Oh, uh-oh. This looks a little heavy.
This rock will be a bit heavy.
Oh, no.
It's a matter of how far it's going to go, and it will just go through the house.
Unfortunately, that's a score of 4 for Team Heuer. Stealing 4 in the 6th end to take a 12-point lead. They haven't wrapped the scoreboard yet.
I guess we're gonna play it out. So
I definitely think quite a few of the teams here, don't have the greatest number of opportunities to play on ice in general.
Yep.
So they're always looking to get those extra rocks in. And
really, 2 steals of 5, and you're right back in it.
well, 2 steals of 5, and then you still lose. 2 steals of 6, and you play an extra end.
Oh, yeah, I thought the score was.
That's true. Hammer
12-2,
6,
but-
steal 6. Oh, get an 8, and then you still got to steal 4. Yeah. As we keep an eye on some of our other sheets here, the 6th end over on sheet D is coming up. It's awfully interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Emily has identified a slashy kind of thing that she can do.
Well, she's got a slash on those yellows where she could then wind up sitting to.
At least.
But she's also got a double raise up the middle, which would leave her probably only sitting 1. But
yeah.
there would be a ton of cover.
She could also draw around the whole mess, possibly enter inside. Although the wall side reports is running a little straight, so maybe not able to bury. I gotta say, I don't hate this call.
No, I definitely like one of the hits. I mean, I would probably go for the raise instead of the slash.
Maybe the raise.
I think that's what she's doing is the double raise. Yep. She's close. She got it.
Pretty much needed to hit that anywhere. It was wired. Not a bad result.
Yeah, definitely only sitting 1, but sitting 1.
Sitting 1. The rock is only half
Fighting
an
the white.
8 foot, but again, sitting 1. Never a bad idea to force your opponent to make a shot.
Absolutely. Back here on sheet B, we've had Team Fox get up 2 corner guards. Pretty wide corner guards, but definitely still usable. Heuer has thrown 2 rocks through the house. All right, Fox with the broom right down the center here. Looking for BJ to draw behind those corner guards.
The double corner guard, certainly a great way to
They're around the guards.
get a
They got to
deuce.
get it into the house. And it is in the house. Nicely thrown.
Yeah, great position. Gives you plenty of room to sink other rocks behind those corner guards, which you definitely need to do.
Quick update over on sheet D. Red Team English did indeed score 1 in the 6th end. They stole. They still trail by 2 points, but they have now scored 1 in the 5th and the 6th. So they are on the march. Here on sheet B, it looks like Laura's calling for a draw behind the guards. Try and beat them to it, but I think she's over curling here.
I think she is over curling, and that's a pretty risky shot. The repercussions of not making it perfect are pretty high. Indeed, that result is just another corner guard. Just giving more room for your opposition to hide rocks. A little heavy just gives some backing for your opposition to hide rocks. Another tactic in that circumstance is to just draw one wide open in the other side, sit shot.
This one's a little tight to the guard. They're staying off of it. Oh, it hooks on them. They're going to collide into that new yellow corner guard. make it a slightly better guard for their existing shot rock, but so for those of you watching the chat window, apparently the guy who was my second on my trophy-winning men's team is coming back to town. So this could be very interesting. Apparently my lead thinks I need to hold tryouts. I don't know, JR. Would you play in tryouts? Would you try out for my team? Anyways, Mark, I hope you've had a great time in Switzerland. I know the pictures have just made me extremely jealous, especially of the outdoor curling.
Maybe not exactly as they drew it up, but the result is fantastic.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Team Heuer over curls, raises the guard.
Raises the guard behind the other guard.
Behind another guard, bites the forefoot.
Wow.
Shrinking the scoring area.
Mm-hmm. I think Jen's just going to try and draw another one in, maybe corner freeze onto that shot rock. Set up for later.
Corner or even nose would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That is their guard. The rock is currently behind, so the run back will be available.
This looks like a nice rock. Oh, it didn't curl at the end, but does get the little tick to slow it down.
Yeah, they might have been well served to continue sweeping that and bring it around.
Mm-hmm.
Try to be in the house. Instead, they completely cover the button. Rock perfectly centered in the house and wide open.
You were opting to simply take that red rock out. Rock hangs just a little wide, but should still make it.
Reluctant to curl, but
gets just enough.
Yeah, soft weight. In the end, it's just enough. This does make it around, and while it's a second shot, it is in the house. Right now, Team Fox needs as many rocks in the house as they can get. So I don't hate it.
It certainly doesn't hurt. I mean, you got to get more rocks in the house. And it's far enough back that you still have plenty of hit options on the one yellow.
Yep, they can run that run their own guard. They can try to raise their guard into the house and open the yellow rock up, completely expose it. So I think Heuer needs to be careful with where she places this rock.
Well, I mean, you could simply draw to the other side of the house.
Sure.
Sit 1-2. I wouldn't hate clearing the red guard simply to open up the hit options on the existing red rocks. It's not a great shot. Kind of prefer the draw.
Yeah. You could freeze to the rock that was just thrown as well.
That's true.
Problem with clearing the guard is then you're essentially leaving your yellow rock completely exposed.
And you're giving 3 away, essentially.
You're at least 2, I would say, at that point. Which is not bad.
No. Well, we did have handshakes on A. May the plan Bs be ever in your favor. Have defeated the repeaters. So that's 2 games off for this draw. Our game here on Sheet B is pretty much determined. But sheet D will play it out through 8, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that game likely to go all the way unless something unforeseen happens. Right now, it's kind of hard to tell, but Team English currently has 2 rocks in the front of the house in the 8-foot, and then there's a
there's a hug. Yeah, hugs not jugs in the back of the 4-foot.
Yeah.
Oof. And hugs not jugs just clear one of the red rocks and expose their shot rock. We will have to.
Is that yellow rock in the back shot?
Let's take a look.
Hard to tell. Ah, yes. The televisions don't lie. Actually, sitting 1 and 2. Oh, wait. I'm looking at the wrong game here. Indeed. Hugs, not jugs. Currently shot rock, back 4, but wide open.
Indeed. Here on sheet B, Team Heuer currently sitting 1 with 2 rocks behind the guard. Jen opting to just try and draw.
With that, I'm going to probably sign off here and get ready with my ice duties for the next draw.
Well, thank you for sticking around for this one.
Yeah, I'll probably be back on the next one, actually.
Yeehaw. We'll be here. Hopefully our audience will join us. So, back here on sheet B, Jen's rock came up pretty short. Heuer still sitting shot rock. Heuer opting to, I believe, throw up a center guard. Laura had a little bit of a wobble on the delivery. Rock is hanging pretty wide. Certainly not going to get to the inside of that guard. Winds up just tapping the guard, but does not push it in, so no harm. Now this is hammer for Team Fox. Looking at the ice, I see a draw for 1. I also see a nose raise double for 2. Sorry, for 3. Which at this point, well, even 3 is not enough. So pick the shot you want to throw, just for fun, and throw it. It looks like Jen is opting to raise the right red guard and try and put it into the 4-foot for 1. Sweepers are on this early. Rock is hanging just a little wide. It's going to get really close to the angle she needs. Unfortunately, just not quite heavy enough. Heuer will steal one in the 7th end. And there come the handshakes. Thank you to Team Fox and Team Heuer for a solid game. We are going to swing our cameras over to follow the action on sheet D. So give us a moment here, and we will bring you the 7th and 8th ends. So as you can see, it's quite a mess out there. Team English is red rocks, and Team Hugs Not Jugs are yellow. Hugs Not Jugs has 1 rock at the back 4 foot. English is 2nd shot in the top of the 8 foot. We are on Skip's rocks here. This is English's first of her 2. She is trying to come through this port and take out the shot rock. She clips the left yellow guard, opening things up a bit, but Hugs Not Jugs is still shot in the back of the 4 foot. For those of you wondering if you should start playing in Bonspiels, I definitely recommend it, partly because of the snacks. There are always wonderful draw snacks afterwards, and today we are featuring Fritos, baby carrots, sliced green peppers, hummus, some corn and beans, and peanut M&Ms. Quite a feast for our tired and weary players who are coming off the ice. All right, Team Hugs Not Jugs here, looking to throw up a guard. They do lead by 2, but they want to protect that 1-shot rock. They do have hammer and really just don't want to give up steal. They'd be fine with a blank, fine with taking 1, taking 2, anything but a steal. However, a blank is not going to happen. Skip comes out, and the sweepers are on it early, trying to hold the wide line. They come off towards the end, and it looks like a nice rock. It overcurls just a little bit. I don't know if the hole is still there. If it is, it's a hole that requires a lightweight hit to get through the port, through both ports, and onto the back one. Certainly the draw port is there. I don't know if the hit port is there anymore. And this is red team's last rock. Emily certainly taking her time, thinking about the options, trying to see if there are any run backs or doubles she might like more than just the draw to the button, essentially. We do have another draw here at 4 o'clock today. So this game will likely run over into it. Most teams will get started on time on sheets A, B, and C, but we will stick with sheet D to finish this game out. All right, the broom is down. The broom is down in a spot I did not expect. So it looks like the call right now is an in-off off the left yellow rock, just left of the broom. Try and pop that out and maybe even wick off your own red and spill to the center. Or maybe just leave yourself sitting second and third and force them to take one. Give yourself the hammer down 3. And the rock is away. They're waiting for it to curl. She really wants it to curl. Oh, just clips the guard. Probably stuck it just a little wide of the broom. And on that center line, it can be tricky. Half inch on your delivery will make a big difference down at the other end and how much it curls. Yellow team lining up with the same broom, probably looking to raise their existing rock or maybe split for 3. I'm a little confused as to why they're not just drawing for 2. But we do have an odd angle on the sheet here, so hopefully they know what they're doing. Rock is away from Hugs Not Jugs. It looks a little light. It looks very light. Rock comes up short. It will be 1 point for Hugs Not Jugs with the hammer in the 7th end. English will enter the last end down 3, but with the hammer. We'll see if she can generate a big end here. not an unexpected setup here in the 8th end. Hugs, not Jugs, throwing 2 rocks through the house. And Team English throwing up 2 corner guards. And now Hugs is just going to peel the guards. It's a little bit of a light rock for a peel. They do make contact, but leave their own rock as a corner guard. Slightly wider. And do push the red through the house. So, slightly better position, but not a fantastic result. Emily calling for the draw around the corner guard. They clear the guard. And bury behind it just a little, but they're pretty far exposed. Hugs looking for another takeout here. Looking for this rock to curl off the center line. It's thinking about it. Makes enough contact to push it out of the house. They do stick around in the back of the 12-foot. Not exactly what they were looking for, but primary objective accomplished. English, yet again, going to draw behind the corner guard. They are yet again well by the corner guard. The rock just does not want to curl off that center line. And they wind up leaving it in almost exactly the same spot. Hugs, not Jugs, yet again making the hit, this time rolling to the top 4-foot. English opting for the hit and roll this time. Trying to keep the chance of a 3 alive. She needs this to stick around undercover. She is down to 5 rocks remaining, and 3 of them need to score. Quick preview, coming up in the 4 o'clock draw, we will feature Team Bem against Team Freeman. Should be a great match. This is certainly a lightweight takeout. They're going to hope for a freeze now. Or just be in the house. Oh, the rock just dies right around the doubles line. Winds up a corner guard. That stinks for English. Skip for Hugs, not Jugs. Just confirming with the rest of her team that they agree with the takeout of the corner guard, and they do, so they're just going to peel the corner guard. They do clear the guard, but leave their own rock in its place. There is now a double corner guard on the right side of our screen. Emily's going to opt for the hit and roll behind. Miss rock again. A little wide. Might try and hit and roll the other way, but I think it's going to spill through. They do make contact. Wind up rolling about 2 rocks worth, but sticking around in the 4-foot. So they're not out of this yet. Hugs, not Jugs, opting to just take the red rock out. Nothing complicated about that. If they make this, they will have guaranteed themselves a tie or better. Sweepers are on it to try and hold the line. This is from the inside out towards the wall, which tends to fall quite a bit. But they are going to make contact. They hit, roll slightly to the outside. And English now has only 3 rocks remaining. But the handshakes do come out. She has conceded. Apparently I miscounted. She only had 2 rocks remaining. So that is game for Team English and Hugs Not Jugs. Congratulations to Hugs Not Jugs for continuing in the A event. We will end this broadcast and come back to you very shortly with our 4 o'clock draw featuring Team Bem and Team Freeman. Have a good evening, folks.